a Thanksgiving Eve feast for AEW fans. I'm Matt Carlins, and this is just Pro Wrestling News for Thursday, November 25th, 2021, and the rest of the long holiday weekend here in the U.S. A big welcome to those of you listening on TheWrestlingRevolution.com. You can bring our updates to your website. Find out how at JustProWrestlingNews.com.
AEW.
A lot to get through, so let's get into it. Thunder Rosa is into the semifinals of the TBS Championship Tournament. She advanced with a roll-up win over Jamie Hayter on Wednesday night's Dynamite. It came moments after a Dr. Britt Baker superkick intended for Rosa hit Hayter instead. Bryan Danielson beat Colt Cabana. After the match, AEW Champion Hangman Page offered to give Danielson his title match right there on the spot. Danielson declined. Andrade El Idolo, Malakai Black, and FTR beat Cody Rhodes, PAC, and the Lucha Brothers in the main event. This match also saw an errant kick as Cody hit his partner PAC toward the end of the match. CM Punk pinned QT Marshall with the go-to-sleep after opening the show with a nearly 20-minute back-and-forth in-ring promo duel with MJF. It included references to The Miz, John Cena, and Triple H. Also on the show, a backstage segment showed Dante Martin seemingly signing on the dotted line and joining Team Taz. Friday night's Rampage will see the aforementioned AEW Women's Champion Dr. Britt Baker taking on Riho. If Riho wins, she gets a title shot. Also announced for Rampage, Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia, and Adam Cole and Bobby Fish versus Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta.
Impact Wrestling.
The Thanksgiving night episode of Impact Wrestling is promoting the return of Wrestle House. Meanwhile, Chris Bay is set to face Falaba on Before the Impact.
WWE.
Thursday's NXT UK is promoting Jordan Devlin versus Mark Andrews. We have a correction from our Wednesday morning update. MLW's Thanksgiving edition of Fusion premieres on its YouTube channel Thursday night, featuring a 5-way ladder match for the vacant National Openweight Championship, TJP versus Calvin Tankman in the Opera Cup semifinals, and the MLW debut of Gnarls Garvin. MLW middleweight champion Tajiri will defend the title against Atsushi Aoyagi at All Japan's show on Sunday.
Ring of Honor.
This weekend's Ring of Honor TV has Jay Lethal versus EC3, Roxy defending her ROH Women's Championship against Gia Scott, and the Briscoes versus PCO and Danhausen. Speaking of Lethal, he, Samurai del Sol, Hijo del Vikingo, and perhaps more individuals who have yet to be announced will compete for the vacant AAA Mega Championship on Saturday, December 4th. Alex Zane tweeted earlier this week he will be out of action for a couple of weeks with a minor spinal issue.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
There's a big-time main event on Saturday night's New Japan Strong. It'll be Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus Minoru Suzuki and Lance Archer. Also on Saturday night's show, Brody King, Chris Dickinson, and Daniel Garcia versus Bateman, Barrett Brown, and Mysterioso. A 10-man tag between Team Filthy and the team of Fred Rosser, Rocky Romero, Ren Narita, Carl Fredericks, and the DKC. Plus, Alex Coughlin versus Jonathan Gresham. Back in Japan, there is now a tie for the top spot in the Best of the Super Junior standings. Sho suffered his first loss of the tournament on Wednesday. He was beaten by Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and those two men are now tied at 8 points apiece. Also on Wednesday's show, Yo got his first win in the tournament. He beat Robbie Eagles. The Best of the Super Juniors resumes on Saturday with Hiromu Takahashi versus Taiji Ishimori in the main event, plus junior champ El Desperado versus the former title holder Eagles. Monday's Best of the Super Juniors card has Takahashi versus El Phantasmo in the main event. The World Tag League resumes on Sunday with the IWGP Tag Champs Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. versus the Gorillas of Destiny among the scheduled matches. Staying in Japan, Stardom is running its Tokyo Super Wars show on Saturday with Utami Hayashishita defending the World of Stardom Championship against Maika in the main event, and challenger in waiting Syuri defending her right to challenge against Konami. Plus, Wonder of Stardom champion Tam Nakano puts her title on the line against Mina Shirakawa. Pro Wrestling Noah has its own big show on Sunday with a title versus title main event, GHC Heavyweight Champion Katsuhiko Nakajima versus GHC National Champion Kano. And that is just pro wrestling news for this Thanksgiving holiday weekend here in the US. Be sure to subscribe to this feed so you don't miss our next update. I'm Matt Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.